In this video we are going to talk about top 10 excursions in Italy. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. It is not surprising that Italy is so full of masterpieces of art and architecture and has more UNESCO World Heritage cultural sites than any other nation in the world, given that it was the cradle of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance. But Italy's top tourist destinations are not just its works of art and architecture. The nation is also endowed with magnificent natural beauties, including lakes, mountains, and a striking coastline. You might design an entire itinerary around a particular interest, such as Renaissance art or trekking, but most first-time tourists prefer to sample the best that Italy has to offer across a variety of activities. The following sites showcase Italy's art, architecture, breathtaking landscapes, and history, while also offering chances for outdoor activities. Plan your schedule using this list of Italy's top attractions to ensure that you discover the greatest places to go and things to do. Number 10. Colosseum. This enormous amphitheater served as a model for sporting venues up until the present day. It was the largest of its kind ever constructed by the Roman Empire and the largest of their constructions to survive. Vespasian constructed it in 72 CE, and his son Titus expanded it by adding a fourth floor. It served as a stage for public spectacles and shows, including mock naval wars. Two more underground layers were covered by a hardwood floor 83 by 48 meters, with tunnels, rooms, cells, and passages for employees, wild animals, storage, and gladiators. The building is a vivid reminder of the past and Rome's long history today, standing in stark contrast to the new development that surrounds it. Number 9. Florence Duomo Santa Maria del Fiore. The Duomo Santa Maria del Fiore, also known as the Church of Santa Maria del Fiore, is a magnificent cathedral that dominates the skyline of Florence. The remarkable dome, which was completed by Filippo Brunelleschi in 1434, is the cathedral's most well-known feature. The cathedral was constructed between the 13th and the 15th centuries. The bell tower of the cathedral is located right next to the cathedral in Piazza del Duomo and is made of the same pattern marble used in Tuscan Romanesque architecture. Giotto created the 82-meter-tall campanile, and you can ascend its 414 steps to a viewing platform with stunning views of the city and the dome. A spectacular baptistry, known for its bronze-paneled doors by Lorenzo Ghiberti, is located directly across from the Duomo. Visit the Museo dell'Opera del Duomo, the Cathedral Museum, to witness the original, superbly carved panels that have been replaced by exact duplicates to conserve the originals from deterioration. Number 8. The Grand Canal in Venice. Travelers have long enjoyed the custom of taking a gondola ride around Venice's canals. Being an island-based city, Venice has historically relied on its network of canals as its principal thoroughfares. The Grand Canal, which carves a broad S-shaped channel through the city, is the broadest and most well-known of these waterways. The largest and most influential families in the Venetian Republic originally owned the palaces that line its sides. A vaporetto trip down the Grand Canal is the greatest way to view many of the grand palaces, whose fronts face the lake. Make sure to visit some of the more atmospheric smaller canals, which are bordered with historic structures that have remained largely untouched for hundreds of years, during your gondola ride and on foot tourism tours. Number 7. Leaning Tower of Pisa. One of Pisa's great attractions, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, La Torre Pendente, is famous around the globe not for the substantial elegance of its construction but rather for a fault. The tower's construction started in the 1100s, and by the time it reached the third story, the sinking that caused the lean had started. Prior to repair work in the 1990s, it had been expected that it would tumble over by the year 2000 due to its centuries-long leaning. Today, guests can ascend the tower's stairs for a stunning vista of the city. The Leaning Tower is situated on the Piazza dei Miracoli, together with the stunning Santa Maria Assunta Romanesque Cathedral and a circular freestanding baptistry. These all contain magnificent examples of medieval stone sculpture. Number 6. Vatican City, Basilica of St. Peter, Sistine Chapel and AMP, Vatican Museums. Some of the most priceless works of art and art collections can be found in the Vatican. The magnificent Basilica of St. Peter, which houses the grave of St. Peter and the Pietà, one of Michelangelo's most moving creations, serves as the focal point. St. Peter's Square is where the Pope addresses his followers outside. Michelangelo painted murals on the Sistine Chapel's walls and ceilings, and Raphael and other notable artists created pieces for the Vatican Palace. The Vatican Museums, a collection of private collections, are filled with more artwork, including sacred art, Etruscan artifacts, sculptures, maps, papal chariots, and even vintage cars. Number 5. The Uffizi Gallery in Florence. The Uffizi Gallery is a one-stop shop for information about Italian Renaissance art in addition to being one of the best art museums in the world. The collection of paintings that demonstrate in detail the development in painting that took place in this region from the 14th to the 16th centuries is its greatest value, even though it includes works by some of the greatest masters of Western art. You may see some of the earliest portraits as artists ventured outside of religious art, the first use of naturalistic and scenic settings in religious art, as well as the first explorations with perspective, here. Number 4. Cinque Terre. Beautiful Cinque Terre is a seaside area with towering cliffs, steep slopes, and a view of the Mediterranean. The 5 charming communities of Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Riomaggiore are connected to one another by walking trails, a railroad that emerges at each town after tunneling through the headlands, or a gorgeous tiny road perched high on the slope above. One of the most popular activities is hiking between the villages since it allows visitors to take in the scenery. Even in the face of contemporary tourism, the little towns have managed to retain the atmosphere of old-world fishing villages and provide a sense of seclusion. Number 3. Lake Como. One of Italy's most attractive regions, Lake Como is bordered by small picturesque towns and surrounded by mountains. The lake, which has been a favorite of the elite since Roman times, features numerous sumptuous villas and palaces along its forested shores. The most well-known of these are Villa Balbianello and Villa Carlotta, both of which have public gardens surrounding them. With qualities resembling those of the Mediterranean, the mild climate that makes the lakeshore perfect for gardens is also a lure for tourists. There is an 11th century abbey nearby the lakeside vacation communities. Milan is only a short train trip from Como, a little city that has been significant since Roman times, located at the base of the lake. The lakeside attractions are easily accessible from the city's waterfront thanks to frequently scheduled steamboat trips. Number 2. Pantheon. The Pantheon, a Roman relic that has been remarkably well maintained, showcases the astounding architectural prowess of the Roman Empire. A single beam of light entered the space from the top of the dome, and the building's precise proportions, which had the height and diameter equal, were meant to represent the firmament and the sun. It was abandoned because the earliest Christian kings disallowed using a pagan temple as a church, and the Pope later dedicated it in 609 CE. The Pantheon contains the graves of Italian kings, Renaissance artist Raphael, and other notable Italians. Number 1. Verona's Roman Arena and Historic Center. Arena di Verona is the focal point of the Centro Storico, or Historic Center, and is one of the biggest and best preserved Roman amphitheaters still in existence. It is one among many remnants from Verona's heyday as a significant Roman city. Verona has survived a remarkable number of monuments from antiquity, the medieval, and Renaissance periods, according to UNESCO, which describes it as a World Heritage Site. In the 13th and 14th centuries, Verona was ruled by the Scaliger family, and from the 15th to the 18th century, it was a component of the Venetian Republic. Overlooking the stunning, castellated Ponte Scaligero, a bridge built in the 14th century, the massive Castel Vecchio served as both a palace and a defensive castle. It is now an excellent art museum. Romanesque churches, opulent structures with recognizable Venetian Gothic windows, and stone gates serve as additional reminders of the city's Roman past throughout the historic town. Of course, Juliet's Balcony is located in a courtyard next to Piazza dell'Urbi's Daily Market, which was actually built in the 1930s as a tourist attraction. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.